Good morning, students. Today let us discuss the chromosomal theory of inheritance. The chromosomal theory of inheritance, and this was proposed by Walter Sutton and Bouvier. These were two scientists who proposed this chromosomal theory of inheritance in the year 1902. According to this, it states that pairing and segregation of a pair of chromosomes lead to segregation of pair of factors they carried. See, simply what they did is, we know that the chromosomal segregation will happen. They combined this chromosomal segregation with the Mendelian principle, and together the chromosome plus the chromosomal segregation and the Mendelian principle were combined to get the chromosomal theory of inheritance. See, what this chromosomal theory of inheritance say is, we know that the chromosome exists in a pair. For this pairing, after pairing, segregation will also happen. The separation of chromosomes will also happen. Then separated chromosome will fuse again. Then they also get separated. So there is a separation and there is a pairing and segregation. Both is happening. Chromosome has to pair. Now paired chromosomes will get segregated will again forms the pairing. It keeps on going. So when this is happening, pairing and segregation or separation is happening, along with the chromosome, even the factors, that is, we are talking of the gene which they carry, even the gene which they carry will also undergo pairing and separation. See, now what we know is, let us imagine we have here the chromosome. This chromosome always occur in pairing. So this is our homologous chromosome. So this is one set. Similarly, we have second set. I should have used a different color to this. See, now such pairing, this is our first pairing, this is our second pair, this is a third one, fourth one, and similarly it keeps on going until the 23rd pair you get. So in the 23rd also it is in the paired form, and totally if you count individually there are 46 chromosomes. We know in humans all cell will have 46 chromosomes. This is in one parent. I'll take it as in the parent 1. This is the arrangement. So now what happens during gamete formation? When gamete is formed, here this will get separate. That is, one chromosome move to one gamete. The one more will move to the next gamete. Here also 1 to 1 gamete, and the second one here is, so now this is 1 and 1, this will be 2 and 2. In the third one, 1 to this, 1 to this. So now this is one gamete, this will be the second gamete. Similarly, all 23 will get separate, where one set will move to this gamete and another set will move to this gamete. So this is the gamete formed from the parent 1. Similarly, there is a parent 2. The same arrangement you can see in parent 2 also. So this is the first pair and second pair. This is the third pair. Like this, right? First, second, third, and so on till 23rd is same. Here also when gamete is formed, here also same thing. Out of these two, one will move to one gamete, another one will go to the second gamete here. Out of these two, one to this and one more to this. This is how ultimately you can find 23 chromosome here, 23 chromosome here. Here also we have 23 and it is 23. During sexual reproduction, How it happens? It is between by the fusion of these gametes. So now if I take this one here is now going to fuse with this one. Now what happens? This is having how much? 23. This is also having 23. Here the chromosome got separated. Here when offsprings are formed, when the gametes now, they will fuse. These are all gametes. During fertilization, they fuse to form the offspring. Now whatever chromosome is present here, this was 1. This one I am talking of. Similarly here also, out of first pair, 1 is here. Now what happens here is, these two will pair. These two will pair to form first pair. And similarly here also the second will pair. Am I clear? I'll just repeat it once again. There's a parent 1 showing the homologous chromosome. Totally we have 23 pair. During gamete formation, these chromosomes will separate themselves. They separate such that in the first pair, one chromosome come to the one gamete, another chromosome to the second gamete. Similarly here also, 1 to this and 1 to this. Like this, you can see there are 23. Finally, we will find 23 chromosomes in the gamete. And the same process will happen in other individual also. So out of that, I will take 1 as parent 2. He or she will also have 46 chromosome, that's 23 pair. And during the gamete formation, here also chromosome has to separate. And out of this, the first pair, 1 is here and 1 more will come to this. Now when gametous fusioning is happening, when there is a fusion of these two gametes, suppose one is a male and one more is a female, when fusion is happening, it fuses such that one chromosome from here and another chromosome from here will come together to form a homologous chromosome, and in this you can see chromosomes are pairing. During gamete formation, chromosomes got separated. Here, once the fusion of gamete is happening, you can see chromosome is pairing. This is what we refer. There is a pairing and separation of a pair of chromosome. When this is happening, even the genes which are present, see, suppose if I say out of one pair, one chromosome is moving to this gamete, even the genes which are present on this chromosome is also moving along with the chromosome. It is not only the chromosome, even the genes which are present on the chromosome will also get separate. Now see, the genes which are here will come to this, and the gene which were present on this will move to other gamete. They run parallelly. If chromosome move, the gene will also move. That is what they are saying. The pairing and separation of a pair of chromosome lead to, if this is happening, this will lead to separation and pairing of factors they carry. Clear? Now, it states that what we have understood from this theory is the chromosomes are vehicle of heredity that are transmitted from parents to offspring. Definitely. See here, from parents. So from what we got, these gametes were from the parents, and this is a new offspring formed. So what we are getting from our parents is the chromosomes. Here the character which we have got, that is because of the genes which are present on the chromosome. But who are bringing those genes? Those genes are brought from the chromosome. Now chromosome is acting like a vehicle. They are keeping the genes on them, and then the entire chromosome is moving. Therefore, the chromosome are referred as vehicle of hereditary that are transmitted from parents to offspring. First point. Second, two identical chromosomes form a homologous pair. We have already know the two identical chromosome here. So these two are called identical chromosome because they are, if you consider their size, it is same, and if whatever genes present on this will have the same genes are also present on this. Allelic form may be different, but genes are same. Those are called a homologous chromosome. And how we get this homologous chromosome? One we are getting from mother and one more is from the father. Second point. Third one, they segregate at the time of gamete formation. Yes, see, we have seen during gamete formation, the chromosome got separated. These homologous chromosomes which were staying together, they get separated at the time of gamete formation as a third one. And fourth one, independent pairs segregate independent of each other. See here, this pair is not dependent on this. They individually they get separated. If this is going, this is taking all the genes which are present on this. They are independently, the independent pair, they are getting separated independently of each other. See, since genes are present on chromosome, they show similar behavior. Whatever is applicable to chromosome, that is seen in case of gene also, because genes are nothing but they are found on the chromosome. Clear? If this is a chromosome and something here which is present here are the genes. If this chromosome move, that means what? Even the gene is also moving because gene were present on the chromosome. That is the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Now, the chromosomal theory of inheritance was studied in fruit flies. It was called, the scientific name is called Drosophila melanogaster. So here, Thomas Hunt Morgan, he proved this chromosomal theory of inheritance using the fruit fly called Drosophila melanogaster. Now, why did he select Drosophila only? Why this fruit fly? The reason for him to select, him meaning Morgan, to select the fruit fly, this will also be an important question. So the reason for him to select the fruit flies are, one, they can grow on simple synthetic media in laboratory. You might have seen if a banana or a fruits, if they are over ripened, you can see some small black flies around that fruit. That is nothing but the fruit flies. They can be simply grown on a synthetic media. You don't need a very expensive material for growing them. A small piece of banana, a simple synthetic media is sufficient for you to grow them in the laboratory is the first reason. Second reason, they complete their life cycle in about 2 weeks. That is, they have a shorter generation time. See, lifespan is very important here because if you are going to select any organism which has a lifespan of 10 years, since we are talking of inheritance, we need to study the transfer between one generation to another generation. See what happens if the lifespan is 10 years, you are going to take an organism which has a 10 years, now they will reproduce. They will produce offspring. Now for these offspring to grow, then develop, and then they will produce another offspring. It will take a lot of time. You cannot wait for this 10 years for studying one generation. If the lifespan is less, it is easy. See, in case of Drosophila, it is in 2 weeks. By 2 weeks, one generation you can study. The next 2 weeks, the next generation you will get. So they complete their life cycle in about 2 weeks. Then they produce hundreds of progeny per mating. See, in this Drosophila, what happens? In one mating, hundreds of offsprings are formed at a time. So this will be one added advantage. You can study the variations in the offsprings and it will be easy for us to self between these offspring. And male and female flies are easily distinguishable. You can easily identify the male flies and the female flies because of their characteristic features. It has many types of hereditary variation that can be seen with low power microscope. See, when you take the fruit flies, many hereditary variation. See, if there is a parents and offsprings formed are in case of sexual offsprings formed from these parents are not identical. We know that they will not match. There might be few similarities, but never they are identical to parents. They will definitely have some small variations, and these variation we need to study that variations. So in case of fruit fly, you can find so many hereditary variation that can be easily absorbed. Maybe in terms of their eye, some of them may show a different color of the eye, red color, or some might show black color. You can see the wings also. Wings may be varied. Some might have a short wing, or some might have a long wings. So these are all what they have got this character genetically, hereditary. So these are called as, in the parents, suppose they have a short wings. In the offspring, you can see the long wings. So this is what? This is a variation. This is not simply variation. It has got genetically, that is heritable variations. And they have 4 pair of chromosomes. See, when chromosome number is less, it is easy. In case of humans, we need to take all 46 chromosome and study. In case of fruit fly, there is only 4 pair of chromosome. 8 chromosomes you can find. So these are all the reason why the Morgan selected Drosophila or fruit fly for studying the for proving the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Clear? Very simple concept. Gene will act how the chromosome will act. If chromosome separate, gene will also get separate. If chromosome unite or pair, the gene will also pair. Why this is happening? Because the genes are present on chromosome. Therefore, chromosome movement meaning gene movement. That is called chromosomal theory of inheritance. Sutton, Bowyer, they actually demonstrated the chromosomal movement. Mendelian has already suggested us how the genes are flowing. So when you unite both, it is called chromosomal theory of inheritance. And this is also one of the important question. Clear?